Do you support capitalism? And your thoughts
No.
around capitalism, socialism, communism? I don't know if you know the differences.
I kind of understand the differences, right?
Can you try?
I can try and illustrate. Socialism is more of, in my understanding, the governments own everything. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
I'll let you finish,
yes,
and then I'll come in
and
with
then
my...
it's shared with the people. So something that would be an example of a socialist kind of act,
Yeah.
even though we're still capitalist, would be the whole NHI situation,
Okay.
right? And then communism, nobody owns anything. Everything is, you share it amongst the people and each other, like China, like how China operates. Nobody owns.
Okay.
anything. Is that not?
Please keep going.
Is that not it?
Please keep going.
No, you can correct me, fella.
No,
if
don't
I'm
worry.
wrong.
I don't have the blueprint or the memo, but please keep going.
Yeah, so that's what I understand. Now, do I have a preference? Look, I'm not down with because sometimes there's a lack of control in these things, and you're overly controlled, like what's happening in China right now. Like the people there, shame, Gosiam, like, but it's working for them.
The people in there, shame?
Yeah,
Shame what?
I don't feel like they have a lot of a say. I could be wrong. I've never
Okay.
lived in China.
A say in what?
In what happens
Okay.
with their own country.
Keep going.
Like everybody else decides, the government decides what's happening with everyone, and then things just are expedited and people fall in line. That's what I understand.
Yeah.
So I don't because I don't like authority. That would really irritate me. No, I can't do that. But that's just for me personally. But I can't deny the fact that it's working for China.
Sure. Capitalism, you understanding?
My understanding is that you and I start a lemonade stand, for example, and we sell lemonade to people, and we make those profits, and we keep those profits, right, for ourselves.
Okay.
Then the problem there becomes that those of us who own private sector tend to have a little bit more money than the rest of the average person, and the wealth is not shared in the way that it should. So people are getting richer and richer, and those who are not rich are getting poorer and poorer.
Sure.
Socialism, you and I have a lemonade stand, others have lemonade stands. We all make the profits, but the profits are kind of shared amongst the people.
Okay.
That's what I understand.
No problem.
Feel free to jump in.
Please don't worry about me jumping
No,
in.
I'm good. I'm done with my explanation. I can't figure out what I like.
Okay.
Or what I
Probably a
prefer.
mix.
A mix would be nice because when you go all in on one, it becomes a problem. I don't know how the people in China feel about their lives. They might love their lives.
In the room, I hope I'll get a chance to sit with them at some point. I've got two of my kids.
Yeah.
Unkos in Africa. They lived in China for 4 years.
Yes.
It would be interesting hearing
To hear
their
their perspective.
Yeah. I've struggled with the definitions of communism and socialism.
Because they're similar.
Capitalism is relatively easier to explain. How I've learned to explain for myself, because you speak to philosophers, economists, politicians, business people, and how they define these things, it's so complicated. Then they speak about Karl Marx, and they speak about, then they're like, Venezuela and Cuba. And you're like, hey, stop it. They speak about China. How I've come to make it make sense for me is how involved government is.
Okay.
Whereas other people look at what benefit does, let's say, the individual have.
Keep going.
So when I look at the influence of government, a pure capitalist, which doesn't exist anywhere in the world, is one where there's no government. So what that means is that if you want a highway, the business people need to build it. If you want schools, the business people, the people with money must build it, not government. As you move from there to, let's say, midway, which I'd argue is sort of socialism.
Is midway.
Now we have what you were saying, NHI, which I'd call public healthcare. Public healthcare, where people need public healthcare, you go there. Who's paying for it? government, kind of. Where do they get the money from? Places.
Taxpayers.
Same with schooling, same with other things as well. We call it social welfare, in my opinion, because it's socialism. Grants, public schooling, public healthcare, arguably even things like the roads, the subsidies of electricity that we've had for so long. That is socialism. The same business people who would be like, what, but you guys benefit.
Right.
Because if the government goes away, you're going to have to build a road yourself. Government be like, but you guys don't want to pay tax anymore, Elon Musk. You guys don't want government to do anything. Cool.
You do everything.
You guys set up your private security, try and kill as many poor people as possible because they're going to want what you have and see how you manage them. The reason we exist and why some rich people understand government's role is I want to make money. I don't want to be dealing with poor people and building roads and making sure there's infrastructure. Let's fund these guys to go and campaign to the poor to be like, we're the best guys to take care of you, but also kind of hold the business people accountable. And then on the extreme end is extreme communism, which has also never really existed. They can use the Soviet Union and those places as examples, but it's not true. Extreme communism is where the government owns everything.
So in China, they don't own everything?
I'll tell you about China. So in communism, the government owns everything. So if you need anything, you have to ask government. We're hungry, we're poor, and government's like, okay, you guys can have some cheese, or you guys can go whatever, and you're at the government's mercy. That's my understanding. But as you will be corrected, I'll also be corrected.
Right.
But it's how we try and rationalize what this
Right.
is. People are like, capitalism is the maximization of profit. It's the split between land, labor, and capital. And socialism is when the what, and communism is, the father of communism is Karl Marx, and he believed in the proletariat. And you're like, this is complicated.
It's a lot
How
for the human
involved
brain.
is government? Less government, more capitalism. More government, more socialism, capitalism. Communism, sorry. China is run by the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, which is headed by Xi Jinping. And they've done a phenomenal job from the days of, known as a dictator, Mao Zedong. He was a communist and he was like, look, these are my children. This happens in North Korea today. That we could argue is sort of more communist than China. Where are your parents? Again, maybe let me use this example. Capitalism, children, parents. Capitalism, no government, no parents. You want to have ice cream every day? Have a good time, knock yourself out. You've got a tummy ache? I'm sorry. You're living your life. Go see what you do with it. But I don't have money for a doctor. I'm sorry. Wow. It's your life. See what you do with it. Socialism, you'll do the chores, I'll give you pocket money. You'll wash my car, I'll pay for, there's something. I'll give you some benefits. Communism, I'm God in this house. I'll decide what if we're eating cabbage or oxtail or ice cream. I decide which school you go to. I decide if you're going to a hospital. I'm God here.
No decisions on the person. Everything
is
up to God.
I'm government, So I normally say this to capitalists. I'm like, before I speak about China, I normally say, you guys claim to be pure capitalists, but you don't exercise capitalism in your own families and in your own communities. Your child who's struggling at school is a bit slow. You're going to help them out. You're not going to send them to the wolves. But now you want other people's leaders to kind of be fine with sending people to the wolves because you guys are rich. And that's unfair because you have an advantage.
Exactly.
If you want a fair playing field, at least rich white people, give back all the benefits of apartheid and colonization, and let's start on fair footing. Don't say, no, but private property and my family, you've got a slow kid that I'm smarter than, but I can't compete on an equal footing.
Right.
Because you don't believe in capitalism. You believe in preserving your child in this little communist state of your family. And then you believe in socialism with your friends. Your friends you help out and bail out at times. Yes, they contribute, but whenever your friend needs money, whenever your friend is struggling, you help them out. Everyone, when you own a business that works for you, your family, or let's say your family, the beneficiaries, communism, they get to benefit almost without doing anything. Your employees, socialism, they put in some work, they get some benefits. All your customers, that's capitalism. You're not my friend, you're not my family. You either pay or you get no service.
Exactly.
Type of thing. So China is communist in how they manage the country, but not in how they run the economy.
Okay.
Their economy is very capitalist. That's why we were buying Hong Kongs back in the day, and the Hong Kongs have
we're
graduated.
still buying Hong Kongs.
No, today they've graduated to your BYD cars, your Huawei's. They're very advanced now. They don't fall apart like they did then.
Except
And look,
for the fake Gucci bags, but yeah, keep going.
I was going to say there's levels. So the Gucci bag at 50 Rand is definitely going to tear tomorrow.
Yes.
But China can develop can produce
5,000 Rand one.
a 5,000 Rand one, a 500 Rand one. You just choose your level of Hong Kong. China is capitalist to the world, aggressively so. They will pump money, like the family example. They will pump money in their local industries and subsidize them crazy. BYD, Huawei, Tencent, and WeChat will give you all the money you need to go out into the world. The world are strangers. They must pay you or get nothing. But to you guys, when the money comes here, we are God. That's why Jack Ma disappeared with Alibaba. You got too smart, spent too much time with Americans. I don't like authority. We are free rights, our privacy. They're like, oh, this one's too smart. Let's shut him down. Suya Papa. Because they have a vision. Every province has some economic activity, intentionally so. You imagine South Africa saying our agriculture will be in the Free State. So there's an agricultural economy there. You can be super rich. You can build a full economy. We'll have a manufacturing economy in the Eastern Cape. So all our cars are manufactured there. All our appliances, we'll have a mining economy in Gauteng, maybe the Northwest. We'll have all our tourism, or the bulk of our tourism economy in KZN. Ukahlamba, the Drakensberg, the beach, the South Coast. Or they intentionally do that. When one province is doing much better than another, they it's like a company that cross-shares money.
Right.
They're like, no, we'll take some of the resources and the talent and send it there. You can't have all your companies' head offices in Sandton.
Yeah.
That's rubbish.
Yeah.
You need some here, so that people don't all flock here.
And it's
you know what I mean?
Guys.
But you also can't talk. Me and you, Njobasila, shouldn't be here.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Me and you.
I understand that completely, but it's maningi.
No,
because
definitely.
of what you're saying.
Definitely.
We're all coming here because we need to make a living.
So China did that, and it succeeded because they had a firm hand. The people that criticize it do it almost like China, but they make it seem like there's freedom and democracy. It's almost like China's surveillance country. They have cameras everywhere. They do facial recognition. The Americans will tell you they believe in privacy, but their phones listen to our voice. Their phones pick up intel. They read our messages, our emails. They know what we're doing. Google Maps knows exactly where I am.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just different side of the same
It's the
same
value.
coin.
I guess you would say that they hide it behind the value add.
Yeah.